どちらかというとアマデウス担当。
I'm still worried about what Leskinen could have potentially did to Maho. I don't know if I'd go so far as to say she's brainwashed yet, but it's a very real possibility.
何か不具合はない？と言っても、これもいつも報告は受けているから、大体の状況は分かっているつもりだけれど。
I mean, we know what happened to Kagari, unfortunately.
ああ、特に問題ない。最近はクリスの相手をするのに苦労してるけどな。
ちょっと。
I heard a voice from my smartphone, which I'd placed on the table.
苦労ってどういう意味？
I'd left the Amadeus app turned on. Of course, Karisu could hear everything we said.
最初に会った頃よりちょっと口調がきつくなってきてる気がする。
あんたが勝手に私にビビってるだけでしょ？
かもな。
It was turning into our old relationship in the Alpha World line, where we'd fought all the time. I was starting to lose track of whether that was a good or a bad thing for me. I'd thought I was trying to forget about Karisu.
ヒアジョーさんは初めて会った時の方が口調はきつかったな。
あれは初対面の人には先輩はきついのよ。なぜかというと、年相応に見てもらえないから。
Fair enough. Absolutely fair. The two of them spoke in unison.
だからついカリカリしちゃうのよ。ある程度親しくなれば容姿のことも言われなくなるでしょ。だから心穏やかに話せるというだけ。
Also, hey Golden, I don't know if I said hey yet. I guess I was right not to comment on her outfit. That was a close call. Oh man.
アマデウスの話に戻すけど、クリスの口調がきつくなったというのは面白い兆候だわ。
Alright, getting out of hand, Golden.
私や教授の前では見せない一面なわけでしょ。それだけ深く心を開いているとも言えるかもしれない。開いてません。
Mahu simply smiled and ignored her.
そうした心の動きをプログラムとして解析できるから、私や教授と話しているだけでは決して見られなかった変化だわ。それだけで岡部さんにテストを続けてもらった価値もあるというものよ。
そんなものか。
レスキネン教授もその点を高く評価していたわ。過大評価だと思いますが、実際私と話す時も文句や愚痴が多いですし、あまり男らしくないというか。
Oof! Well, I knew my personality had gotten a bit negative, especially given what I'd been through. But did she really need to say that to Maho right now? An eye for an eye it is, then.
ちなみに今まで報告していなかったことがあるんだが。
何かしら。
これはおそらくヒアジョーさんやレスキネン教授も把握していないことだと思う。
待って、あんた何の話をしようとしてるの？
Uh-oh.
真帆先輩や教授が把握していないことって私についての？
栗ご飯とカメハメハといえばわかるか？
Oh no! A few weeks ago, I'd actually searched for Kurigohan and Kamehameha on a whim. It was the handle Kurisu had used on that channel when she was still alive. From what I'd seen, the comments started in summer of 2008, then abruptly stopped in July of 2010, and then started up again in December of that same year. Even now, in July 2011, they were still appearing. Yep. Yeah, that means she's still using it even as Amadeus. I feel like she smells bad. Who? If it wasn't Karisu's ghost and it wasn't an imposter, then the only one who could be writing those posts was the girl on screen, Maho? Well, if you judge from how she's left her room in a total disaster, I could probably understand that. I just like to cope and say that everyone takes a shower in like video games or like anime and everything. I'm sure everyone like keeps themselves clean. Cap, let me cope, man. Let me cope.
やっぱりお前の仕業だったか。さすがに黙っているのはまずいんじゃないか。
魔法先輩に報告するなんてもっとまずいわよ。
なんで？
私がアートチャンネルを見てることは一言も教えてないからに決まってるでしょ。
堂々としていればいいじゃないか。アットチャンネルを見るのも書き込むのも別に犯罪じゃないんだし。
It does prove that you're sus, though. If you go on 4chan and you go as far as commenting or replying to anything on there, that is pretty sus. Because 4chan it's 4chan.
そうだろ？アットチャンネラークリス。
あんたね。次にその呼び方したらあることないことアットちゃんに書き込んでやるわよ。
それこそ犯罪一歩手前の行為だろう。
I couldn't help but laugh. Conversations like this brought back so many memories. I used to be so full of myself that I'd tick off Karisu all the time.
ねえ、一体何の話
？Oh, you know, stuff and things.
何でもありません。気にしないでください。海馬からきれいさっぱり今日の記憶を葬り去ってくださ
い。隠していたっていつかはバレるぞ。
あんたはいいから黙りなさい。やっぱりあなたたち半年前よりずっと仲良くなっているわね。あ、先輩、すみません。
Oh, no, Amadeus, don't you do this again.
どうして謝るの？あ、いえ、せっかく岡部と真帆先輩久々に会ったのに私ばかり話してしまって。
Oh, okay, I thought she's about to try to hook him up again.
というわけで、あとはお二人でごゆっくりどうぞ。
Not without you, we won't.
別にそんなつもりで言ったんじゃないわよ。それもこれも岡部が変なことを言い出したせいね。
そうなのか。栗ご飯とカメハメハ。
What was that your cry? お願い
だから言わないで。
Just like the real Kurisu, she was strangely obsessed with hiding the fact that she was an hat channeler.
ちょっと頭を冷やしたいので一度切りますね。失礼します。
Kurisu disappeared from the screen. Kurisu had been kind of rude lately, so it felt good to have a chance to get back at her. If I overdid it, she's probably gonna hold a grudge, so this was likely a good place to stop.
栗ご飯って何なのよ。
どうしても知りたかったらクリスに聞いてくれ。
If I explained it, she'd probably get mad and refuse to talk to me again.
それで今回はどれぐらいの間こっちに滞在することになりそうなんだ？
前よりも長くなるかもしれないわね。レスキネン教授が研究している新型脳炎は未だに詳しいことがほとんど分かっていないようだから、もしかしたら私だけ先に帰らされる可能性もあるけど。
時間があったらラボにも顔を出してみるといい。ダルやマユリもきっと喜ぶはずだ。
Oh.
まゆりさんはともかく橋田さんはどうかしら。
None of us know about him, man. He's a creature for sure. Maho was finally starting to understand Daru's true nature. Oh, I'm so sorry, Maho. Speaking of Daru, he should be on a date with Yuki Amane right now. A king? A king of the losers, maybe.
ちなみにクリスのノート PC はその後どうしたの？
あれは破棄したよ。それが一番いい判断だったんだ。前にそう話しただろう。
A king of losers is still a king nonetheless. That's cool. That's cool.
ええ、そうね。
She looked down, a sad expression on her face. I told her I was going to do it ahead of time, but it still must have upset her to see one of the last things she had to remember Kurisu be destroyed. Oh, Suzuha perspective. About half the seats at Go-Go Churi, Mochi, are you... The word is right there in front of your face and you say Churi. Huh? Anyways. About half the seats at Go-Go Curry were full. It was Sunday, but it was also after 2 p.m., and so the lunchtime rush was over. Suzuha was sitting at the restaurant's far edge, a baseball cap pulled down over her face. She was hiding her face with the cap and carefully watching a couple sitting nearby. Dude, it can't be the third time I've called Curry Churi. I refuse to believe that. There's no way I'm that illiterate. I found a woman cosplaying as female Daru. That poor woman. She must not know. I'll bet you anything she doesn't know. One of the items on the Go-Go curry menu, it consists of an extra large portion of rice, a pork loin katsu, chicken katsu, hot dogs, fried shrimp with tartar sauce, and a boiled egg. That sounds like a heart attack. Oh my god. I assume you're not meant to eat that all at once, but Jesus. Bro, people may be making fun of Americans for liking hot dogs and hamburgers. Brother, look at this. What the rice, pork, chicken, hot dogs, fried shrimp, and tartar sauce. That sounds more American than most things I eat. Jesus. Oh, sorry, and a boiled egg. Oh, God. A cheerful employee put down 2 giant silver plates, or trays more accurately, in front of them. Suzuha could see the customers looking at them and whispering. The couple really stood out after all. The man was a giant... Oh my... They're American, aren't they? That's like Dr. Leskinen and Reyes, isn't it? God almighty. The man was a giant who looked like he ate major curry all the time, but the woman was slim, pretty, and looked very kind. The combination of huge man and slim woman was as unbalanced as the combination of pretty girl and major curry. The major curry was big. It was huge. Suzuha knew from experience. The massive silver trays were loaded with rice and curry, and topped with 2 fried cutlets, fried shrimp, sausage, a boiled egg, and a mountain of cabbage. There was 2 or 3 times as much curry as you'd find in a normal dish, and the toppings were just as big. Even a growing young boy would find it hard to eat them all. Oh wait, is it Daru and Yuki? I think it's actually Daru and Yuki, now that I think about it. Susaha was irritated. Okay. Yeah, alright, yeah, it's Daru and Yuki. The Beauty and the Beast. Okay, I know I dunk on Daru a lot, but that was mean. Oh, that's mean. Oh, man. Oh, my God. That was mean. Oh, my God. Also, bro, why are you wearing this on a date? Brother, you don't look flattering in this. I'll tell you that much. Yuki looks great, but Daru was... Daru didn't deserve that either. That's mean. The Beauty and the Beast couple that Susaha was watching, of course, was Itaru and Yuki. In the morning, they'd gone to see a movie in Yurakucho. Then they'd come to Akihabara, and gone straight to Go-Go Curry. Susaha had followed them the whole time. That's why she couldn't believe Itaru's choice of date spots.
私はゴーゴーカレーでも全く問題ないけど、というかむしろ好きな方だけど、せっかくの初デートなんだから、もうちょっと他に選択肢もあるだろう。
I mean, to be fair, aren't the best dates just places you go to have fun? It doesn't have to be anything fancy. That's what I... Maybe that's why I've never been on a date. You know what? I'll just stop talking. She clutched her spoon tight and gritted her teeth. Suzanne knew next to nothing about Japanese youth culture in 2011, and even she knew it was a bad idea. Who knew what was going through Yuki's mind, or so Suzaha thought. I think the best first dates are places just to talk and get to know each other, and the second one could be food or movies. I mean, like, it's just anywhere that's like you're gonna have fun. At least that's what I think. But what I do have a problem is, why is Daru wearing this on his first date? Brother, he's literally donning a wife beater. Who would wear that on a first date? Who would be okay with someone wearing that on a first date? Who would be okay with wearing that on any date? Take the bitch to Apple. Do not take them to Applebee's. That's a bad idea. Applebee's sucks. Surprisingly, Yuki was ignoring the people around her, and innocently enjoying the huge curry.
天音もし食べきれなかったら、僕が食べてあげるですから。
When you gotta... Alright, Draft King, alright.
はい、ありがとうございます。けど、これでも私、結構いけるんですよ。
そうですか。びっくりです。
実はいつもお店の外でメニューだけ見てて、一度食べてみたかったんですよね。連れてきてもらえて嬉しいです。
それは実に良かったです。
お
Susaha had evidently worried over nothing, but she still realized that Itaru was acting strangely. Ever since he'd come out of the movie theater, he was walking and talking strangely. Instead of this usual hunched posture, he was forcing himself to stand up straight. His every movement seemed oddly forced, as if he were a broken robot. And he downed glass after glass of water.
ごめんなさい。私にもお水のおかわりを。
はいはい、どうぞ。
ありがとうございます。
Itaru poured water into Yuki's cup. Suzuha had a bad feeling. And she was right. Itaru was moving so awkwardly that he almost spilled water on her hand.
大丈夫ですか？
ええ、ちょっと手が濡れただけですから。それより早く食べましょう。
Yuki quickly wiped down the table with her handkerchief and grabbed her fork and spoon. There were stars in her eyes.
それじゃあ、いただきます。
いただきます。
Yuki seemed to be really enjoying her meal, but Itaru was very formal and quiet. He was taking little nibbles out of a piece of fried cutlet, like a squirrel eating a nut. Wait, I can't take the word nut seriously anymore, man. I hate what the internet's done to me. The whole time, they weren't saying a word.
一体何をやってるんだ、父さんは。あんなんじゃ母さんに愛想つかされちゃうよ。
I blame Draft. Me too, honestly. Also, hey, Morsei. She decided to send him a message on Rhine telling him to get his act together, and she'd just taken out her phone when... Oh. A huge plate was laid on the table in front of her. The other customers started murmuring again. Come to think of it, when she'd followed them into the store, she ordered her usual major curry with extra roux, and then forgot about it. Now everybody was going to focus on her. In a small shop like this, it was suicide. Just as she expected, her eyes met Yuki's.
鈴葉さん、いたんですか？偶然だね、ゆきさん、兄さん。声かけてくれればよかったのに。いや、気がつかなかったんだよ、全然。
She realized that she should probably leave, but she couldn't go without at least taking a bite of the major curry in front of her. Her experiences in the ward left her completely unable to waste food. She felt Yuki and Itaru staring at her as she reluctantly picked up her spoon.
とまあ、そういうことなんで、二人ともごゆっくり。
Her only choice was to finish her extra-large curry as soon as possible. She couldn't let herself be in the way. But instead, Yuki came over and picked up Suzuha's plate.
すみません、店員さん。お友達なんですけど、席を移ってもいいでしょうか？
はい、どうぞ。
OK ですって。一緒に食べましょうよ。ちょっと、なんでってほら、鈴葉さんもメジャーカレーじゃないですか。これはぜひ勝負せねばと思って。
Oh man.
はあ？
Oh man.
審判は橋田さんにやってもらいましょう。
And before Suzuha could respond, Yuki had moved her plate over to their table.
いや、
This is oddly wholesome, eating together like a family. True. In a weird way. She had no choice but to follow, but before she sat down, she whispered in Yuki's ear.
デート中なんだよね。え？あ、そうです。デート中です。 改めて言われると照れますね。
ね
Itaru didn't react at all, even though she was sure he'd overheard that.
私デートとかしたことないから詳しくないんだけどさ、デート中に他の女とカレーの早食い対決したりするもんなの？さあ、どうでしょう。
I don't really know.
でもほら、アニメとかコミックスとかにそういうのありません？
Yes, it is. It's common all the time, Caesar. Indeed. I remember on my first date, I speed ate with everyone in the restaurant. What a good time.
お兄ちゃんを取られたくない妹が彼女さんに向かって勝負だみたいなの。
That's disturbing in more ways than one in this situation. I was about to say it, but Yuki said it for me. Anime makes it valid. Oh, man. For some reason, Yuki seemed incredibly enthused. Suzawa was overwhelmed by her energy.
知らないってば。そういうものなの？兄さん。
But even when she turned to Itaru for help, he just awkwardly sat there eating his curry like a robot.
兄さん？
He awkwardly turned his head to face her. The rest of him stayed completely still.
なんか言った。
どうしたのさ？なんかおかしいよ。
どうもしてないお。おかしくないお。
Alright, what is Daru's major malfunction right now? Now I'm confused. What?
お
Suzawa glanced back at Yuki. And for the first time, Yuki looked concerned. In the end, Yuki and Suzawa did have their curry eating contest, and surprisingly, both of them completely finished their meals. Jesus. Nervousness. Not only is this his first date, he knows it's his first date with his wife, he needs it to go well. Brother, he could sit there and, like, derobe himself in the middle of the restaurant and he'd be fine. The world line is going to ensure that they get together. It doesn't matter. I don't know why he's so nervous. It's literally the future. You can't change that. You can't change that unless something major happens. Something Okabe or Suzaha or someone would have to interrupt. They're going to get together. It's been decided. He doesn't need to be so nervous. I mean, the timeline did change after. When someone else does something. When a major player does something. Not Daru going on a date and, like, effing it up, dude. They're still gonna get together. Suzawa won by a very small margin, but the battle was exciting enough that not only the other customers, but the staff as well were applauding at the end. Wouldn't you be nervous too? I mean, I think most people are. Not that I'd know. I mean, I guess I would be, because I don't know the future. You know what I mean? Because there's a very real possibility that I could F it up. And I am an introvert. But Daru knows he's going to get with her, is my point. I hate that pun, Golden. I hate that you made that. If I knew that was someone I was going on a date with in the future would be like a significant other, I probably wouldn't be nervous. I might be a little stiff, but I wouldn't be that nervous, you know what I mean? But the whole time Itaru kept eating by himself. I mean, even if you do know, that doesn't mean you won't still feel nervous. Easy to look at it objectively. I guess. Since this wasn't even a conversation, let alone a date, she sent Itaru home alone. God dang it. Part of her wanted to demand Itaru explain himself right now, but she did decide to talk to Yuki instead. She tried her best to avoid Yuki so far in order to keep her identity a secret, but it was July now. She'd be gone from this era very soon. Different personalities also react differently. That's fair. This might be her last chance to talk to Yuki at all.
Suzuha-sanがいてくれて助かりました。
Yuki's like, you know, I'll be honest with you, Suzuha. I do not like that man at all. You just busted me out of a major situation. Thank God. Thank God for you, Suzuha. Praise be. That would be like the biggest plot twist, but also the most sensical one. That's still the most unbelievable thing about Steins Gate, is that someone wanted Daru. That I don't care what anyone says. That's the most unbelievable part. Yuki sighed a little after Itaru left.
私、もしかしたら気に障るようなことをしちゃったのかもしれません。橋田さん、私といてもあんまり楽しくないみたいだったから。
Your hatred blinds you, even if you have a point. More say, you know I'm spitting. You know I'm spitting all the time.
単に緊張してただけじゃないかな。でも映画を見る前は楽しそうにお話ししてくれてたんですよ。それが映画の後はすっかりよそよそしくなってしまって、私何か間違っちゃったのかな。カレー屋さんに連れて行ってもらったのも私のリクエストだったんですけど、ずっとあの調子だったからさすがにちょっと困ってしまって、それで偶然お店にいた鈴葉さんに助けを求めたというわけです。
What had happened inside the theater? Suzuha hadn't followed them inside. She'd spent about 2 hours killing time outside.
あのさ、ゆきさんはなんで兄さんのこと好きになったの？
We need that answer. We need this answer right now, Yuki. Yuki, like you have the stadium. All right, you have the stadium. You're at the podium. The focus is on you. We need this answer. We need this 500-page speech, or 500-word speech. Sorry, not page. That's a bit long. We just need a good, sensible answer from you, Yuki. All right, go. Not a good start. Not a good start. Okay, all right. Don't worry. Oh, don't worry. We'll give you another chance. We'll give you another chance.
いや、私が言うのもなんだけど、あんまりモテるタイプじゃないじゃん、兄さんって。
I had flashbacks to college essays for a second. That's putting it lightly, Suzuha. That's putting it lightly. All right, not a good second start. Not a good second start, Yuki. We'll give you a third try. We'll give you a third try.
鈴葉さんはお兄さんのことどう思います？
Again, that's not a good start. You're avoiding the question.
私？好きですか？嫌いですか？
The fourth start is not going good either.
好きですよね。見ていればわかります。まあ、
There were parts of him that she didn't like. That has to be the majority. But of course she loved her dad.
って私のことは別にどうでもいいじゃないか。
Fifth start, okay. We'll give you a 6th try, Yuki.
それでゆきさんは？
Alright. 6th try. It's the one. 6th try is the one.
私はまだ好きかどうかもよくわからないです。
Fair. Alright, I understand it. I understand it all now. She's confused. She's confused. Okay, it all makes sense now. She's confused. I knew it wasn't like that. Like, she made that, like, as an educated choice. She's confused is what it is.
そっか。
Alright, that was good enough, Yuki. I'll give you an A+ for that. Not only had Hitaru not told Yuki he liked her, this was still their first date and they hadn't spoken that much before either. She hadn't even reached the point where she saw him as a member of the opposite sex. I don't think many people see him as that. For almost a year, Suzuha had stayed with him, and she, Mayuri, and Ferris had done everything they could to get the two of them together, but there hadn't been any real progress. Suzuha felt uneasy when she thought about the future. Maybe her dad wouldn't be her dad anymore. Maybe her mom wouldn't be her mom anymore. Dad and mom wouldn't be together. They still will be, Suzuha. Like, I wouldn't worry that much about it. I don't know how it happens, but they will be. She imagined that future.
そんなの嫌だ。
She looked straight into Yuki's eyes.
私さ、もうすぐここからいなくなるんだ。え？ちょっと遠いところに引っ越すんだよね。そうなんですか？多分戻ってこないと思う。
I think you could say something about self-fulfilling prophecies here. They're trying to force something that should happen naturally. Of course it's not working. I mean, yeah, that's what I've been kind of thinking. It's like Suzuha's trying too hard. Even though, like, it's going to happen, so it's like, what's the point of, like, trying to force it to happen?
心配なんだ。父さん、兄さんのこと。だからさ、ユキさん。
If I was Yuki, I'd be like, wait, hold up, wait, what'd you just say? Did you say dad? wait, my friend, did you just say dad? I swear, I feel like some of these characters, like, in anything, like in anime, games, or visual novels, I feel like they just can't hear. Like, Mewtwo, Suspicious.
こんなこと、私が頼むのもおかしな話なんだけど。
And then she bowed deeply.
橋田至をよろしくお願いします。
There was no answer from Yuki. The Japanese mentality is to politely ignore it, so I guess it kinda checks out. Honestly. That has to be what it is. Suzuha looked up, afraid, and tried to gauge the expression on her face. She looked kind of lonely. And kind of sad.
私はどうしたいんでしょうね。
Oh. Yuki whispered, and then Suzuha...
もうどうするんだよ。これじゃ破局の危機だよ。まだ始まってもいないけど。
As soon as she got back to the lab, she yelled at her useless father. Based Suzuha.
うおー、すずはごめんな。箸だけはもうダメなんだお。
しょぼくれてるんじゃない。シャレじゃ済まないんだ。とりあえず今日はなんであんな態度を取ったのかしっかり説明して。 今朝出かけるときはあんなに楽しそうだったじゃないか。母さんだって映画の途中までは普通だったって言ってたし。一体何があったの？
いや、それがさ、聞いてくれよ。映画の座席って狭いじゃん。だから僕、天音氏の邪魔にならないようにと思って、できるだけ椅子の端っこに寄って座ってたんだよね。そしたら椅子がベキっていって壊れそうになって。
I've never heard of someone being so fat they nearly break a theater chair. Oh my god. Oh, that's kind of funny. Oh. That's funny.
Eh?
で、慌てて体を支えようとして肘掛けを掴んだんだけど。
It sounded like you were dying for a second. That's just too funny, man.
それが肘掛けじゃなくて天音氏のその手だったんだお。
What a strange way to start holding hands. What the hell?
うん。そんなこと母さん一言も言ってなかったけど。
嘘じゃないよ。あの柔らかい感触は肘掛けのはずがない。女の子の手に決まってる。
What if it was someone else's hand?
そう。
ただ僕、女の子と手をつなぐなんて2次元ならともかく3次元じゃほとんど経験なくて。
It was her chest. God, I hope not.
それでどうしたの？
天音氏優しいからさ、僕を傷つけないようにと思ったのか、その手を振りほどかないんだお。僕ってこの体型じゃん。手汗とかかきまくりじゃん。ベッタベッタになるわけじゃん。なのに天音氏、何にも言わずそのままで。なんかそれからすごく意識するようになっちゃって。
ああ、なるほどね。それであんなにポンコツになってたのか。
天音氏もきっと心の中でキモいうざい話せ変態って思ってたに違いないよ。
It's what she should have been like, but it probably wasn't.
母さんはそんな人間じゃないよ。
Yeah, unfortunately, she's too nice for that. In fact, from the way she was acting, she probably thought she'd upset him somehow. The problem was what she'd said.
私はどうしたいんでしょうね。
What did she mean by that?
母さんがわからない。
鈴葉、こうなったら母さんのことは諦めて僕と二人で仲良く生きていこう。
言ってることがめちゃくちゃだよ。そもそも私はどうやって生まれてくればいいんだ。
でも無理だって。
父さんが頑張らないでどうするの？このピンチをチャンスに変えるんだよ。
She grabbed her father by the collar and shook him. Wake up, you idiot!
出ないと。
She remembered how sad Yuki had looked when they'd said goodbye.
でないと取り返しがつかないことになるよ。
ですよね。
Suzuha was starting to wonder about leaving, especially now that she had even more to worry about. Maybe I shouldn't have talked to Yuki after all. She realized again how powerless she was, being from the future. Oh, Okabe time. Based Okabe time. The Global Brain Science Comprehensive Research Organization Japanese office prep room in Wako City hadn't changed a bit in the 6 months. Why is that name so long? Surely you can abbreviate that. Jesus Christ. Global Brain Science Comprehensive Research Organization Japanese office prep room. Why is it that long? Whose decision was it to make it that long? It was still far from being what it needed to be, and still almost completely empty. There were rows and rows of empty desks. It probably has an acronym, maybe. Jesus, man. The amount of dust on the tables had perhaps increased. After Dr. Luskinen had left, it had probably remained unused.
わざわざ呼びつけてすまないね、リンタロウ。
Not even sure if it's if it's just localization or if that's long in Japanese too. Who knows, man.
ああ、いえ。
Dr. Liskinen told me he wanted to update the Amadeus app to the latest version, so I'd come to his office after class. Maho had connected my phone to her PC to begin the process. He said it'd only take 10 minutes, so I was sitting around and waiting.
ところで、リンタロウ。以前にも話したと思うが、本気で留学について考えてみないかい？
え？
君が問題なければ推薦状も書こうじゃないか。
Yeah, we know why he's doing this, though. I mean, we don't know his specific goal, but we know he's trying to catch Rintaro in his grubby little mitts.
もちろんテストや面接はパスする必要があるけどね。
I frantically straightened my posture.
とてもありがたい話なんですが、今の俺の学力じゃまだ難しいかと。俺、真剣にビクトル・コンドリア大を目指しているんです。だからこそ絶対に失敗したくなくて、そのためにはせめてあと1年本気で勉強すべきだって思っていて。
Dr. Liskinen pursed his lips as I tried to stammer out an explanation. But soon,
OK。
he patted me on the shoulder and smiled.
やはり君はとても思慮深い青年だね。
そうですか？そんな風に言われたのは初めてですが。
Saying it was one thing. But maybe I was just a coward. There were times when you needed the courage to move forward without being afraid of failure. Was now one of those times?
では、挑戦は来年かな？
そうですね。
Had I missed my chance? Would Dr. Liskinen wait until next year? I started to get nervous.
根を詰めすぎるのも良くないよ。例えば大学を見学に行くだけでもモチベーションのアップにつながると思う。
見学ですか？
もしタイミングが合えば旅費は出すからぜひ一度一緒に行ってみないかい？
そこまでしてもらえるなんてありがとうございます。
もちろん私は次いつアメリカに帰れるかどうかわからないから時期については明言できないがね。
はい。
Don't fall for his snake tongue, Rentaro. Don't fall for him. I mean, shit. I mean, not in the romantic way. I mean, him trying to trick you. Wait, shit. Hey, yo. I bowed my head in gratitude. Meeting Dr. Leskin was a real lucky break for me. But Okabe isn't bi. If he was Luca, it wouldn't be a problem. True. By chance, my eyes met Maho's. For some reason, her smile was a little sad. She quickly looked away and went back to her work. She knows. Maho was staying in a business... Dude, I cannot get over Maho's room. Look at this. Jesus, man. Clean up! God! Why is there just a toilet paper roll right here? Looks fine. I don't want to see your room, Golden. God knows I don't want to see your room if that looks fine. Jesus Christ. There's a trash bag in the corner! Sheepy shit in the bedroom. God. Dear Lord. Maho was staying in a business hotel a few stops down from Wako City. She said she deliberately avoided staying in the same hotel as last time.
少し不便になったけれどね。
Be you live like this?
というか、少しは片付けたらどうだ?
Thank you. She hadn't spent that much time in Japan and it was already messy.
片付ける？私は自分が一番効率的に過ごすことのできる配置をしているだけよ。
Oh no. Oh no. Not this cope, dude. Not this cope! Oh my god! Which meant she was refusing the hotel's cleaning service.
そんな風にデリカシーが欠けてるから先輩にはいつまで経っても彼氏ができないんですよ。
I could hear Karisu from my phone. She was annoyed. After the app updated, I left Amadeus running.
大きなお世話よ。
この部屋の惨状で人を招くなんて普通は恥ずかしくてとてもできません。
Not Maho, though. Well, cleaning wasn't a specialty of mine either. It wouldn't be right to give her too much of a hard time. I don't know, the lab still looks better than what this is. Jesus.
それで、俺に話って。
I'd come to Maho's hotel because she said she wanted to talk to me about something, probably about what Dr. Leskin is trying to grab you into. I wouldn't have minded talking about it in the office, but she insisted on speaking alone in her hotel room. I knew she didn't mean anything by it, after knowing her for half a year. I knew she wasn't the type. Maho looked like she was having trouble finding the words she wanted to say.
あなたにまだ聞けていないから。クリスの事件の真相を。
Oh. Oh. Okabe's like, damn, I thought you'd just kind of forget about that. I quickly shut down the Amadeus app.
それにタイムマシンのことについても聞きたいの。
タイムマシン？
クリスは中鉢論文に関わっている。そう言ったのはあなたよ。ねえ、あの子は本当にタイムマシンを？
How should I answer that? Last time she'd been trying to decrypt Carisu's laptop. I was willing to tell her what I'd experienced in order to get her to stop. In the end, I'd lost the chance, though. But things were different now. Carisu's laptop was gone. There was no reason to bring it up anymore. But then Maho said something I didn't expect.
実は私、この半年、本来の研究と並行でタイムマシンの研究をしていたの。
なんだって。
クリスにできたのなら私もって思ってしまって。歪んだ対抗意識ね。意地になっているのかも。でもね、もしタイムマシンを作ることができたらクリスのことを救えるかもって。
やめろ。
Oh. Also, here's that if y'all didn't get to read that in time. This was awful. Why bring it up now? Maho was still haunted by Carisu's death just as much as I was.
バカなことは考えるな。
岡部さん。
マキセクリスを救おうなんて考えるんじゃない。そんな可能性はゼロなんだ。神の設営がそれを許さない。
やっぱりあなた、やっぱり何か知っているのね。
Maho got closer to me.
もしかして実現させたの？クリスはタイムマシンを完成させている？あなたはそれに乗ってすでに人類初のタイムトラベルを行ったんでしょ？そうなんだわ。
Uh-oh.
根拠があって言っているのか。
I pretended to remain calm. Maho seemed shocked at her own words.
ごめんなさい。私どうかしているわ。こんな妄想を口にするなんて。
It's funny because she wasn't even wrong. But Okabe is just a professional gaslighter. Oh, never mind, that's not funny.
ヒアジョーさん。
Maho started to cry. I didn't know what to do when she started crying right in front of me.
どうしたのかしら。私こんな急に
Oh.
全然泣くつもりなんて。
She used her fingers to wipe away the tears. She seemed pretty unstable. I could sense a lot more fragility than I'd seen before. She looked like she'd been psychologically pushed to the limit. All the things she'd experienced must have taken a toll on her. When we were talking on video chat, I hadn't seen any signs of that at all. Should I tell her? If she was researching a time machine, that was a bad sign. She might start looking into things and open doors that should remain closed. If that was the case, I should tell her what I experienced and then give her up, and then have her give up, just like I did.
わかった。俺が経験したことを話そう。絶対に誰にも他言無用だ。それともう一度これだけは言っておく。マキセクリスを救おうとは考えるな。いいな。
Oh. She nodded as she wiped away the tears. I told her about the events in the Alpha World line, about the time machine, about reading Steiner, about the method of sending memories back through time that I called a time leap, about how Karisu had developed a time leap machine that made this possible, about Suzuha Amane, the time traveler from the year 2036, about the future Suzuha had told us about in the Third World War, and about how the race to develop a time machine would set off that war. I told her all these things, as matter-of-factly as I could. As for how Karisu died, I couldn't tell her that. When I'd told her everything, she fell silent for a bit. She took a deep breath, frowned, and rubbed her temples.
頭が痛いわ。
全て信じる必要はない。俺の頭がおかしいと思っても構わない。だが、もし君がタイムマシンの研究を続けてマキセ・クリスを救おうとするなら、俺はどんな手段を使っても止めるつもりだ。だから、変な考えは捨てるんだ。自分を追い詰めるのはよせ。
I was about to say more, but Maho put her hand up to stop me.
もう少し整理させて。あなたの言うリーディングシュタイナーって新型脳炎のことじゃないの？レスキネン教授が話していた症状と同じだわ。
そうだな。そうかもしれない。レスキネン教授には話すべきかどうかまだ迷っているんだ。
That's the last person you should tell any of that.
無用な混乱を招くかもしれないし。
Oh no, it won't confuse him. Just quite the opposite.
君はどう思う？
私に聞かないで。
Shouldn't have told Maho either. I mean, yeah, but he was put in a bad situation. He'll probably find out anyway. Maho is now a weak link. Yeah, true. Maho was still massaging her temples with her fingers.
そうだな。すまない。
あなたはクリスのノート PC を本当に破壊してしまったの？
ああ、壊した。
中身は見た？
ロックの解除方法がわからなかったんだ。見ようがない。
Even Daru said he couldn't do it. There was no way I could do it on my own.
あなたはクリスが書いたタイムマシンに関するオリジナルの論文を読んだの？
いや。
In other circumstances, maybe not, but after this particular series of events, yeah. Maho kept asking me questions. She seemed to be into some kind of strange hurry.
あなたはクリスがどうやってタイムリープマシンを完成させたか知っているの？
おおよそはな。
再現できる？
どうだろうか。ダルの助けがあれば、あるいは。
できるのね。
俺一人じゃ難しい。
私なら。
そんなことは考えるな。
No. Maho suddenly grimaced as if she was in pain. I realized how pale she was.
ヒアジョーさん、大丈夫か？
Did she really have a headache or something?
少し横になるか？
But she shook her head and kept asking questions.
タイムマシンは今どこにあるの？鈴葉さんが乗ってきたというそれはどこに？ どこなの？
I wasn't sure if I should say without Suzawa's permission.
秋葉原だ。
Well, well, well. Maho looked so desperate that I found myself answering her question.
ラジカンの屋上に今もある。
Well, well.
そう。
Her shoulders slumped and her head dropped. I was worried that she might ask to see it for herself, but maybe she really was sick.
本当に平気か？
I put my hand on her shoulder and looked at her face.
今日はもう休んだ方が。
Uh-oh. No! There was no warning at all. Maho's tiny body slammed into me. The force was enough to push me back to the wall.
何を？
Before I knew what was happening, her arm was against my throat. Oh my god! She was using the bone in her arm to put pressure on my windpipe. I couldn't breathe or speak. I twisted my body and tried to resist, still clueless as to what was going on. Then she used her other hand to grab my hand and slam it into the back of the wall. Brother Shion slamming Sutoko into the locker moment. What is happening? Jesus Christ. What the hell? They really just said, commence order 66. Commence order 66. Her strength was incredible. I was a lot bigger than she was, but still I couldn't escape her grasp. I feel like she got brainwashed. Because it was a similar thing with Kagari. Do it. Kill him. Kill him now.
残念だわ、岡部さん。
Her voice was very dark and very cold. And suddenly she moaned again, and her face twisted in pain. Just do it.
頭が割れそうよ。
Oh. She was crying again.
なんで私に話してくれたのよ。
Oh. Okay, you can't pull that, Maho. You sat there and like questioned him till the cows came home. You can't pull that card.
あなたは黙っているべきだったのに。
Yeah, because she probably had that instruction plan. I get that, but like she can't then be like, well, why did you say it? You know, I get what she's saying, but like it's like I'm just saying it's hypocritical to be like, oh, what the hell? Why the hell did you do that? I mean, I agree, he shouldn't have done that, but yeah, I couldn't escape. I grabbed onto her long hair and tried to pull her away, but she didn't move at all. It's as if she felt no pain. My phone had been vibrating in my pocket for a while now. I desperately grabbed for it. I pressed the button without even looking at the screen. Please answer, Kurisu. I was blacking out. Was I gonna die here? Without even knowing why Maho was trying to kill me? But the whole time she was strangling me, Maho looked like she was in so much pain. And wait, was she still crying? Before I could figure out if her tears were real or an act, I passed out. When I woke up, my throat hurt. tried to cover my mouth with my hands, but something was keeping them from moving. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Yep. Alright, there it is. Yep. Yep. I opened my eyes and saw that I was sitting in some kind of chair with my head facing downwards. I slowly raised my head. My hands were tied to the armrest with zip ties. When I tried to break out, the ties dug into my skin and hurt very badly. I tried looking around. It was a room I'd never seen before. There were machines that looked like they belonged in the operating room of a hospital. But the wall was also lined with monitors, like some kind of guard room or control room. I couldn't see any windows, so I had no idea where I was. Jesus. She must have, dang near crushed his windpipe. Good lord. I mean, if she did it hard enough for him to pass out, I'd imagine so. My throat hurt when I tried to talk. And then I remembered that Maho had almost killed me. Why had she done that? I felt more confused than angry.
Yeah, Rentaro. Mega sameta kai?
Oh no. I heard footsteps and saw a wavering shadow beneath the dim fluorescent lights in front of me. I knew that voice.
Leskinen. Kyoju.
気分はどうかな。喉が渇いたなら水を用意させるよ。
When I looked again, I saw that he wasn't alone. There were several men behind him in black suits. They were looking at me without saying a word. All of them were holding guns. They looked like MIBs and reminded me of the foreigners I'd almost ran into at Daru's shop 6 months ago. Or was it the same group?
これは一体
Yep, the men in black. There were a lot of things I wanted to ask, but more than anything, I wanted to know why Dr. Leskinen wasn't helping me. Brother, he came in like an anime villain, what do you mean? Come on, Okabe, let's get those neurons firing. Of course, the first thing that came to mind was the obvious answer. It was Dr. Leskinen who had put me here, and Maho had captured me under his orders. Oh boy, this chapter? Hello, Raven Hearts, how are you doing? Welcome to stream. My name's Mochikuma VT, nice to meet ya. Nice to meet ya. Hope you're doing well. But I didn't want to think about that.
ここはどこですか
So all I could ask was a stupid question like that.
私の目に狂いはなかったよ。君はまさに情報の宝庫だ。今や合衆国大統領にも匹敵する価値のある人物と言ってもいい。
Also, yeah, we're on, this is our second route so far, Raven Hearts. We've already done the, promised, however you said it, promised R route, I'll say it's that, where we sent a D Rhine, apparently, and now we're on this route. And I did play Steins Gate 0 before this, and, I will say that, the OG Steins Gate is one of the best visual novels ever created. I genuinely love that game. It's amazing. He didn't answer me, but he showed me a self-satisfied smile. I could feel alarm bells going off in my head. I was getting more suspicious of Dr. Leskinen. It's almost like he ain't the best person. It's almost like he might be behind all this. Almost.
俺は監禁されてるんですか
監禁というよりは保護と言った方が いいだろうね。君の価値が明らかになれば、狙ってくる連中はたくさん出てくるはずだからね。
レスキネン教授が指示したんですか？
そうだよ。私がこうすべきだと判断した。魔法から君の持つ情報について聞いてね。
Man.
ヒアジョウさんはどこです？
ホテルで休んでるんじゃないかな。
ヒアジョウさんは俺から情報を引き出すために近づいてきたんですか？
最初はそうではなかったよ。結果的にはそうなったけれどね。
あなたも俺に親切にしてくれたのもそういう打算があったからですか？
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
あなたは一体何者なんです？
まあまあ落ち着けなさい。前に教えただろう。科学者たるもの、常に冷静でなければいけない。興奮していいのは実験が成功した時だけだと。
Instead of feeling calm, Dr. Leskinen's attitude was pissing me off. I felt betrayed. There was a rage, frustration, sorrow, and a lot of other feelings all mixed together as I gritted my teeth. Dr. Leskinen ignored me and gave a brief order in English to the other men. They left the room. Only Dr. Leskinen and I remained.
さて、ウィンターロー。私のもう一つの仕事の話をしよう。
もう一つの仕事。
It was then that I remembered the other world line that I'd been sent to. Shumayama had told me that an American organization had demanded that I be turned over.
CIA か NSC か。
But Dr. Leskinen only chuckled.
一緒にされては心外だな。彼らは無能な公務員の集まりだよ。
Oh.
君はストラテジック・フォーカス社というアメリカの民間情報機関を知っているかな？
Oh yeah, that's what we were talking about in Promised R route. Strat 4.
ストラテジックフォーカス社。
I'd heard of them before on a conspiracy theory site, so that the old me used to read all the time. Actually, let's do a bit of a reminder on that, because I don't remember entirely what they were about. Just a little bit of a reread on that. Where is it? There it is. Official name: Strategic Focus, an American civilian intelligence company, sometimes called the Shadow CIA. It has its own independent intelligence network that it uses to gather and analyze security information from around the globe. And many famous companies and military organizations sit on its board of advisors. They are a for-profit company with completely different ideas and policies from groups like Anonymous, who crack classified information, or WikiLeaks, which publishes public interest information from whistleblowers. There's a real information brokerage company named Strategic Forecasting, Inc. Based out of Texas, this company bears no relationship whatsoever with Strategic Focus. Okay.
Strato 4.
I remembered reading that they'd acquired top-secret information on Russian ballistic missiles that even the CIA couldn't get, and then sold it. The result was the destruction of the CIA's reputation, and at the same time, the total reorganization of Russia's military strategy. I'd even heard rumors that during the Gulf and Iraq wars, they obtained information about the warring countries faster than anyone and spread it as needed. The world's government supposedly call them the Shadow CIA.
あなたが のストラト4だって。でも脳科学研究所の主任研究員じゃ。
本業はそっちだよ。もちろんね。ところで私はよくこういう説を唱える連中に出くわすんだ。人間は殺し合いをする猿である。人間の脳だけが大脳神秘質の発達によって狂った信仰や野望を持つようになり、そのせいで戦争が起きる。だが私はそうした説を聞くたびに思うのさ。そんなバカみたいな考え方は受け入れられない。でたらめだとね。ではなぜ人間同士の不毛な戦争がいつまでも終わらないのか。わかるかな、レンタロウ。それはね、情報のせいなんだよ。人間は誰しもあるコミュニティに属している軍隊だ。
I know, pick me, doctor. You're a bit late there, Golden.
個人個人は自主的に行動しているつもりでいても、実は全ての脳はそのコミュニティに流布されている情報によってつながっている。そして一つの群れとして生きることを余儀なくされているのさ。例を挙げてみよう。そうだな。例えは悪いが、ヨーロッパのある国が行った人類史上最悪の大虐殺は何も中世の魔女狩りの時代に起こった出来事じゃない。
Wasn't the worst massacre in history the American Civil War? Or am I completely wrong on that? Or wait, no, was that just... Maybe that was just the battle that had the most American bodies. Never mind, sorry.
20世紀も半ば、すでに原子爆弾すら作られていた、そんな時代の話なんだよ。しかも、その国は当時最先端の文明国家の一つだった。
No, he's talking about... Oh, he's talking about World War II. Okay. Is it the genocide in this country spelled backwards? Armenia... Huh?
その国の指導者の資質問題は歴史学者に委ねるとして。実際の現場で虐殺に手を染めた人々のことを君は知っているかい？彼らはただの人殺しの猿だったのだろうか？違う。彼らはごくありふれた普通の人たちだった。脳科学的に見ても何一つ異常の見られない普通の脳だったはずだ。ところが、ひとたびそこにとある最悪の情報が伝播すると、途端に彼らの脳は平気で虐殺を行う軍隊と化してしまう。
最悪の情報。
これは我々の使命なのだ。我々は正しいのだ。だから使命に従わない者は悪なのだ。そういう情報さ。
何が言いたいんですか？
人間の脳という脆い軍隊のための情報はきちんと制御できるものが管理しなくてはならないということだよ。 それがストラテジックフォーカスの最終目的だ。私はそれに共感して脳科学者でありながらエージェントとして協力している。分かってくれたかな？
わかりません。そんなのよくある映画の悪役のへりくつだ。
I mean, he's not wrong. I mean, he's not wrong.
結局あなたは金で情報を売買してるだけじゃないですか。俺が情報の宝庫だって言いましたよね。タイムマシンの情報を一体どの国に売るつもりです？アメリカ、中国、それとも中東やアフリカの紛争地域ですか？
そのすべてだよ。
Oh. Leskinen shrugged his shoulders and quietly laughed.
核兵器と同じさ。抑止力としてあらゆる国に必要だと思っている。
タイムマシンは核兵器なんかとはわけが違う。それが使われたかどうか誰も気づかない。もしかしたら使った本人さえも気づかないうちに世界は改変されてしまうんだ。抑止力になんかならない。どの国も誰がどう世界線をいじったのかすら感知できないまま狂ったように改変を続けるでしょう。永遠に。
その通り。タイムマシーンは核兵器以上にデリケートだ。だからこそ君たちの能力が必要となる。
Oh, the people with reading Steiner.
君は確かReading Steiner と名付けたそうだね。
Yep.
どうやら新型脳炎とほぼ同じ症例だとか。
Realistically speaking, if a time machine is ever invented, then the usage kind of depends on which principle the timeline follows. Yeah, it'd be hard to study, that's for sure. That's right, Leskinen was researching the new encephalitis too.
我々は新型脳炎患者が過去改変を感知できるのかもしれないというところまでは突き止めていてね。ずっとその確証を求めていたんだ。世界中の諜報機関も同じ躍起になって調べている。
For example, if we follow the theory that no matter what you do in the past, you can't change the future because you've already time traveled to that past in that past time, then nothing you do will change the timeline at all. Then you have string theory and multiple timelines that could happen too. Two very drastically different results. Yeah. I hated myself for not realizing the possibility sooner. I'd always had the wrong idea. I thought that the reason the new encephalitis patients were being brought together was just to give them meaningless treatment. I'll be honest with you guys, the only story I've ever seen handle time travel well is Steins Gate. Because they give explanations on like how time travel works in their verse, and they give explanations for why the actions are needed, why stuff isn't pointless, why everything has a point, and how these things affect the characters. Basically every other story I've seen use time travel does it poorly because they don't explain anything. And they're just like, believe us. Part of how time travel interacts also depends on whether parallel worlds are a thing. Yeah, it's a complicated subject. That's why I say if you're making a story, just don't do time travel. Just don't do it. You're just opening yourself up to plot holes if you do that. Just, Mochi's tip of the day. Don't put time travel in your story. They actually make it seem semi-realistic and scientific, plus good world building. Yeah, they just do it well, basically. I'm about to make the next young adult time travel fiction novel of all time. Oh, man. I thought that the reason the new encephalitis patients were being brought together was just to give them meaningless treatment. But I was naive. Too naive. Leskin and Stratfor's goals was to gather people with reading Steiner and study them. Yep.
さっき魔法から君の特筆すべき能力のことを詳細に聞かせてもらったよ。
My main character will be Ointaro Urkabe.
本来君からはクリスの失われた成果について聞き出せればそれでいいと思っていたが。新型農園の情報まで出てくるとは。君は最高だよ。
Man.
ここでも我々は世界に対して一歩先んじることができる。というか、君はどうしてもっと早く私にその能力のことを話してくれなかったんだい。そうすれば君の友人、勝美の脳もあそこまでいろいろといじくらないで済んだのに。
My main character is Morse Key. Jesus. Katsumi. Katsumi Nakase. Did he mean Fubuki?
それに君が話してくれていたなら魔法の脳に施術をすることもなかったんだ。
ヒアジョさんまで。
Oh, man. Wait a minute. Chotomate. Was that why she was acting so weird?
あなたの助手だろ。あなたを尊敬し慕っていたのに。そんな人体実験みたいな真似をよくも。
今後人類に貢献する情報を手に入れるために必要なことだったんだ。それにそんなに慌てなくても大丈夫。
Why am I being fused? Oh, is that what that was? Oh, I just read that and I didn't even understand what Golden was saying. I'll be honest. Oh yeah, that is just more Saiyan Draft Key combined. Unlucky for Morsay stands. It's over for Morsay cells. It's over.
魔法も勝美も将来少し脳機能に障害が残る程度で済むはずだ。
あんた狂ってる。
For the first time, I felt hatred for, and fear of, the man in front of me. I couldn't believe that this was the same man I'd respected so much.
リーディングスタイナー保有者の脳を調べればもっといろいろな発見があるだろう。
What kind of Pataro earring shenanigans is this? Patara. Oh my god, Sasuke.
それをタイムマシンとセットで売れば世界の軍事バランスは完全に保たれる。戦争も回避できるんだ。君にもぜひ協力してほしい。
So does he not work with Reyes in the same thing? So is Reyes a part of Stratfor too then? I assume she is. Leskinen's mannerisms hadn't changed a bit, even as he spoke of these horrifying things. He spoke of these insane things in the same manner that Maho once described as a mischievous child's.
俺のことを騙してたんですね。
Yes.
俺に近づいたのはただ俺がクリスと親しかったからだ。クリスの生前の情報を俺から引き出そうとしていた。
She said who she was with. It's just been a while. I think I still have it in the tips. It was DERPA. Yeah, it was DERPA. The American Defense Ultimate Research Projects Agency, created to adapt the latest scientific technology for military purposes. It reports directly to the President of the United States and the Secretary of Defense. It is staffed by around 300 people, many of whom are non-military civilians. And since it reports directly to the Secretary of Defense, it is kept free of direct military influence. Researchers in DERPA are given wide latitude to pursue projects they find interesting. During the days of its predecessor, ERPA, it was responsible for the development of ERPANET, which would later become the Internet as well as the Global Positioning System. So yeah. I mean, her and Leskinen have, like, some kind of, like, agreement. I know, but it does seem like they work for different companies, though. They work for different companies, but they have, like, some kind of, like, agreement.
騙していたつもりはないよ。君と最初に会ったのは偶然だ。エムデウスのテスターを頼んだのは、君がクレスの友人だからというのが大きかったがね。
They just happen to both work at Victor Crondria. Technically, they have no affiliation, so they could be allies, enemies, or entirely neutral. Might even vary by world line. That's true.
ただ君のことを知るうちに純粋に興味を持ったのは本当だ。今でも思っているよ。私の下で研究員になってくれたら嬉しいとね。だがそれとこれとは別の話なんだ。さっき言っただろう。君は今この時点で合衆国大統領に匹敵するレベルの重要人物だと。私個人の考えよりも我々の仕事を優先せざるを得ないんだ。未来の人類の平和のために。残念だ、リンタロウ。そして楽しみでもある。君の持つ情報の全貌を私は早く知りたくてうずうずしているよ。
地獄に落ちろ。
これから君の記憶データを取らせてもらう。
I mean, technically speaking, I would say Leskinen's a more competent villain than Reyes. Because as you guys can see, he actually kind of succeeded a bit. in a much more efficient manner, I would say.
君の記憶をアメデウスシステムとして使わせてもらうんだ。面白いアイデアだろ？そうすれば、君が不良の事故で死んでも、君の記憶は残る。あは、心配しなくてもいい。元より殺すつもりなどないよ。
Absolutely better written by a mile. Yeah, I do kind of like Leskinen as a villain. Although, I just like villains in general. Anyone that's known me for a while knows that my favorite character archetype are villains.
人間というのはエムデウスよりもセキュリティが甘いんだ。苦痛を味わうと、それから逃れるために簡単に情報を漏らす。 秘密保持のセキュリティなどないに等しい。拷問が通用しないエメデウスより生身の君の相手をする方がずっと楽だ。
Reyes is kind of a throwaway, to be honest. Never gets mentioned again ever. That's a shame. It's the problem is with like stuff like that is like sometimes you have these characters that are like used as like important plot points, but they don't get used again, so their potential never gets realized. Golden Nothing's ending, that's why no one finished it. We're not finishing the stream or the conversation. But you can't just use that at like out of nowhere. It wouldn't make sense.
記憶データを取るのはバックアップだと思ってくれたまえ。例えば、君が拷問に耐えきれず、精神崩壊を起こしてしまったとしても、近い将来、記憶データを君の脳にダウンロードして回復させることもできるからね。君も私の講演に参加していたから知っているだろう。まず記憶データの取得。
But the words themselves have no meaning, and because they have no meaning, that gives them meaning. Right.
その後で君自身からいろいろなことを教えてもらう予定だ。
So says Okabe, just like fate logic. I love it.
さあ、リラックスして。そうでないとデータを正常に取得できないからね。
レスキネ。あんたは
そんな顔をしても誰も助けには来ない。ここは我々ストラット4が管理する場所だからね。
I think Leskinen's way of intimidating you, like not just Okabe but like the player, is actually like really creepy. Because he just kind of explains stuff in like this non-caring sociopathic manner, and there's nothing you can really do about it, which makes it just feel all the more like terrifying, if that makes sense. Because he already knows he's won, and there's nothing you can really do about it. So he's just explaining it to you like a child, like, this is what we're gonna do, and this is how we're gonna do it.
我々以外には誰も知らない。
He doesn't get mad, he's extremely even-tempered, which makes it more terrible. I mean, yeah, he doesn't have a reason to get mad. And that's, like, also goes with his character and his whole, like, outlook is a scientist should never get emotional or excited unless an experiment is finished. Very well-written character.
誰もだ。
Definitely a good twist villain as well. Because, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, those are usually the villains I don't like, is the twist villains. Disney. Because usually twist villains are just like, you never saw it coming, and there's no reason why I'm a villain, but I'm a villain, here you are. You know what I mean? I like a good twist villain. Well, don't watch Disney movies. or the newer ones, anyways. Actually, what am I even saying? Disney doesn't make villains anymore. I was too stunned to think. There was nowhere to run. My knees shook in terror as I imagined what was about to happen to me. That said, his interactions also seem, and probably are to an extent, genuine. He likes Maho and Akabe, but he's still a villain. Yeah, he likes them. He just genuinely liked them, but he's a villain, and like he said, he puts his personal feelings aside for the sake of his mission or his job. You mean Dawsney gotta avoid that copy? Oh man, maybe it would have been better to die. And then I felt sick as I remembered that I was fated not to die until 2025. If no amount of torture could kill me, this was literally hell. Her head hurt. Didn't whirl? Maho knelt down, closed her eyes and bit her lips to shut out the pain. There was an annoying noise in her head that wouldn't go away. It made the headache worse. No matter how much she covered her ears, she couldn't block it out. She wanted to scream from the pain, but she held it in because she thought it'd only make her headache worse. She could hear a voice mixed in with the noise. It was Dr. Leskinen's.
警戒魔法。君はどんな手段を使ってでも、リンタロウ・オカベが抱えている秘密を暴くんだ。でないと、彼を殺さなくてはいけなくなる。そんなのは嫌だろ?
Oh, God.
君もリンタロウのことを随分と気にかけていたじゃないか。散々私やクリスが煽ったからね。君にその気などなくてもついつい意識してしまうものさ。それが人の心理だ。彼を助ける意味でも彼の持つ情報を引き出してほしい。
You know what's interesting? Of course, I've not finished Steins Gate 0, but Leskinen's probably gonna get as close as we can to get for, like, a villain for Steins Gate in general. Since you know how Steins Gate works, there's not really, like, a main villain. Leskinen's probably about as close as we're gonna get. And I don't mind that. I think Leskinen's a pretty good villain.
そうしたら私はリンタロウを我が研究室に無条件で迎え入れてあげてもいい。魔法、彼について知り得たことはすべて私に報告しなさい。
We want a Typhoon villain again? Dude, Typhoon was too cool. What was the dude's name? Golden, the main villain of Grisaya? What was the guy's name? It was Typhoon's master. The guy that escaped Asako. Oslo. Oslo was so cool, dude. I think it was Oslo. Aside from the evil shadow force of CERN and the committee, whose members we don't even meet. Yeah, exactly. Dude, Oslo is like one of my favorite villains.
彼の未来は君の手にかかっていると言ってもいい。
The voice and the noise were extremely unpleasant. She couldn't really understand what the voice was saying. She could hear him speaking, but her brain refused to understand the meaning of the words. But it didn't matter either way. Maho had done something terrible to Okabe Rintaro. She'd sold him out to Dr. Leskinen and Stratfor, and the fact that she knew it just made her guilt worse. She wanted to disappear from the world altogether.
Maho-san?
Oh. She was on a busy street in Akihabara in early summer. She was leaning on the side of a building in the shade when she heard someone call her name.
やっぱりMaho-sanだ。
Oh, it's kind of similar to Mayuri's original sprite. It's like a different colored dress, but in a Steins Gate 0 style. Cool.
Mayuri-san.
Technically, Leskinen said to find info from Okabe Rintaro, not Okabe Rintaro. Man. She didn't expect to see Mayuri here, so she didn't know how to respond. She just looked back and stared. It's the hat. Yeah, the hat is incredibly similar.
具合悪いんですか?
Mo, don't. Oh no. God, I feel so bad for Maho. Jesus, she just got drug into all this.
大丈夫よ。オカリンを見ませんでしたか？
No. Maho went completely still. Mayuri's innocent question reminded her of her own stupidity and cowardice. It's not your fault. Like, you literally got dragged into this and brainwashed. There's not much you could have done.
どうして？
Her voice was shaking.
オカリン、昨日から連絡つかなくて。
Please don't get Mayuri involved, though. I've seen Mayuri suffer too many times in Steins Gate. I can't take it anymore. Moho got the short end of the stick in this route, yeah.
お家にも帰ってないし、電話も出ないし、メールや LINE にも返事来ないんです。
I still want to see her in the Steins Gate world line, but it hasn't happened yet. Man.
ダル君は心配しすぎだって言うんだけど、なんだか胸騒ぎがするのです。
That next Steins Gate they're working on, that everyone's been talking about, they better make it just like a peaceful world where it's just talking about how Okabe is living happily together with Kurisu and they meet Maho and everyone's just happy and everything's sunshine and flowers. I don't want it to end miserably again.
だから今日は学校を早退してこの辺りをずっと探してました。
It was still only July, but it was pretty hot. She'd been wandering around all of Akihabara in this heat. Mayuri Shina was a kind, pure-hearted girl. That was the impression that Maho had. She'd never betray someone or get jealous or let someone use her.
知りたい？
No! No! Maho! No! If it's a spiritual sequel in the same vein as Chaos Child, we probably won't even see any of the OG cast outside of a cameo. I swear to God, Maho, don't do this. Don't do this, Maho. Mayuri leaned forward.
真帆さん、オカリンのこと何か知ってるんですか？
No, don't.
もし知ってるなら教えてください。
Don't, no, no.
お願いします。
Please don't. She bowed deeply.
そうか。
And then she realized, and then she wished she hadn't. Mayuri was in love with Rintaro Okabe. A dull pain ran down her temples.
君もリンタロウのことを随分と気にかけていたじゃないか。
Oh. She could hear the noise in her head. Don't do it, Maho. Just tell Mayuri everything. And then have this innocent girl tell you how horrible you are. Maybe you'll feel better then. You won't feel better, Maho! The idea raced through Maho's mind. Even as she knew it was wrong. She tried to hold back her headache as she opened her mouth. No, Maho, no! No!
ゆうべ、深夜、岡部さんと一緒だったの。
No!
そうなんですか。それでオカリンは今どこに？
No! Maho ignored her question.
岡部さんは昨日、私にこんな話をしてくれたわ。
No. No.
彼が経験してきた別の世界において、椎名真由里さん、あなたは
No!
何度も死んだんですって。
Maho, why? Don't tell her.
何度やっても助けられず、あなたは死に続けた。
You can't tell her this.
その悪夢のようなループから抜け出すために、あなたを救うために。
It was like another person was speaking using Maho's mouth.
岡部さんはクリスのことを犠牲にしたんだって。見殺しにしたんだって。そんな話をしてくれた。
Mayuri, it's not like that.
タイムマシンを作り、クリスをもう一度救おうとすれば、またあの頃に逆戻りしてしまう。
You're hurting her. But the words didn't stop.
岡部さんはそのことをひどく恐れている。あなたを必死で守ろうとしている。ここはあなたを守るために他の多くのものを犠牲にして選択された世界なのよ。
Man.
あなたは何も知らされていないだろうけど。嘘。そんな。
Mayuri.
おかり。
Mayuri was too shocked to speak. She looked like she was about to cry at any instant. Suddenly, Mayuri turned around and started to walk away, with slumped shoulders. Even from behind her, Maho could tell she was having trouble walking straight. The truth was so cruel that confronting it threatened her very identity. That's how it seemed to Maho. Maho was still in a trance. It felt like there was a fog covering everything she saw. It was all out of focus, like a mirage. If someone told her it was a dream, she'd easily believe it. The same was true of her own mind. She knew she should feel worse about what she just told Mayuri, but while she realized she'd hurt her, she felt no emotion. That was probably why she was able to say something so awful. And then the phone in her pocket began to vibrate. She looked and saw it was from Amadeus, from Kurisu. She felt a small, thin needle prick her paralyzed heart. She couldn't answer it. How could she? She stared at the LCD screen, unable to move her fingers even a centimeter.
出られるわけないじゃない。
She couldn't let Kurisu see her like this. But even so, it felt wrong to just stay here. Maho decided to go after Mayuri. But by the time she made it to the overpass, Mayuri was already gone. Since she was right in front of the station, there were many people around, and it would have been impossible to find her.
なぜ私の前に現れたの。
Oh, Maho.
私に声なんてかけなければ傷つかずに済んだのに。私はもう 以前の私ではなくなってしまったのよ。
She looked down over the station from the overpass and whispered to herself. And then she saw someone in a distinctive outfit approaching her. Uh-oh. Is that Kagari? They were wearing a black motorcycle suit and black full-face helmet despite the heat. She thought it might have been a cosplayer, but instead of trying to take pictures, the people nearby were avoiding them. Given a closer look, the person appeared to be a woman. Even Maho could tell that she had incredible proportions. The woman walked under the overpass and vanished from Maho's view. And then she came up the stairs. And she came right toward Maho. Maho quickly looked away like the other pedestrians and tried to run away. But before she could, the woman in the motorcycle suit ran over and wordlessly grabbed her hand. Oh god. There was a pain in her cheek. She was caught off guard and staggered to the ground. At first she didn't know what had happened. She rubbed her aching cheek, and only then did she realize that the woman in the motorcycle suit had slapped her. Oh. She could hear a muffled female voice from within the helmet. Oh god! Her voice was very calm, which only terrified Maho more. Because she was wearing a helmet, Maho couldn't read her facial expression. Since the visor was lowered, she couldn't even see her eyes. There was no answer to her question. Instead, the woman looked up to the sky, as if she'd noticed something. Maho looked up too. For a moment, it seemed as if a black shadow crossed the windows of the building. She could hear a helicopter. It was close. How long it had been there? Steins Gate Suffer Edition. Man, honestly, that is just Steins Gate 0 in a nutshell, isn't it? She hadn't noticed it at all. And then she felt the air around her change. The pedestrians were all looking toward the station in fear and shock. She could hear people saying things like, "What's that? Are they filming a TV show? Some kind of cosplay event?" Something was going on at the station. Maho stood up and looked too. She found herself whispering the same thing as the others. There were two trucks painted a deep military green parked outside the station. Men were coming out of them, dressed in camo and carrying weapons. At first she thought it might have been the self-defense force, but the men weren't Japanese. It was hard to believe that what she was seeing was taking place in Japan. The men in camo disappeared into the alleyways as everyone watched from a safe distance. They were heading toward the radio building. Oh no, they're gonna get the time machine. Maho had heard from Rintaro yesterday that the time machine was there. Yep. Or Russia? Or perhaps another country's military? Were they here because Maho had told Leskinen what she'd learned from Rintaro? As soon as the thought crossed her mind, she was hit with another terrible headache. It was all her fault. Everything was her fault. Until a moment ago, everything had seemed so hazy. But now she felt crushed by overwhelming guilt. If Okabe was right and the Third World War was going to begin here in Akihabara, it'd be because she gave the information he shared with her to Stratfor. She suddenly realized the girl who'd threatened to kill her had run down the stairs and toward the station. Maho never did figure out who she was. And then her phone started to vibrate again. It was from Kurisu. She wanted to get away from the guilt. And so this time, she picked up the phone.
先輩。
クリス、
大丈夫ですか？
No, she's not.
何が？
一体どうしちゃったんですか？
どうもしないわ。
No.
だって泣いてるじゃないですか。
Only then did she realize that her eyes were overflowing with tears. The fog over her mind was now totally gone, and all that was left was the guilt, the regret, and the headaches.
頭が痛いの。
彼の未来は君の手にかかっていると言ってもいい。
She heard the noise again. Oh my god. Thank you for the bait, Gold.
岡部は岡部をどうしたんです？
岡部さんのことなんてどうでもいいでしょ。
Oh god.
殺そうとしてたじゃないですか。私見たんですよ。
私のことは放っておいて。
そういうわけにはいきません。
放っておいてよ。あなたには勝てなかった。私はどれだけやってもクリスにかなわない。
She heard the voice again. You like jelly beans? Got some jelly beans. You want some jelly beans? Oh man.
ねえクリス、私はあなたのことを尊敬している。私より年下だけど大した科学者だと思うわ。でも心の底ではこう思ってたのよ。どうして私の前に現れたの？
Oh man.
どうしてあと10年先に現れてくれなかったの？どうしてあと10年後に現れてくれなかったの？あなたがいなければ私はもっと平凡な日々を送っていたはずなのに。
God, Leskinen just ruined her.
こんな醜い感情になんか支配されずに済んだのにって。私はあなたに常識を破壊されっぱなしなの。死んでまであなたの存在が私につきまとうの。あなたの死を心から悼みたいのにそれができない。越えられない壁としてあなたが立ちはだかり続けていて、プライドと意地が邪魔をしてしまうの。
I only played this game lots of times, but this was the only chapter I played just once, and now I remember why. Dude, this feels like the worst ending. I can't blame you, Ravenhearts. This is just depressing in every imaginable way.
そんなところにつけ込まれて、私は一番信頼していた人にまで裏切られて、私を信頼してくれた友達を裏切ってしまった。
No.
もう私頭がぐちゃぐちゃよ。だから放っておいてよ。
That is part of why it's recommended as the first one. Oh man. Oh man.
先輩。
She was getting far too emotional. Normally, she'd never behave like this, but she couldn't stop herself. Oh god! They're killing people down there. Jesus Christ.
I love you.
What the hell just happened? Also, hey, Prince Alan. She heard an explosion in the distance. Also, thank you for the comfort. I needed that. Oh my god. The people around her started to scream, panic, and run. The flames from the explosions were coming from the direction the men in camo had gone. Did they do it? Jesus Christ, is the war already starting? The helicopter sounds were getting louder. Glimpses of their dark, agile bodies had flashed in and out of Maho's vision for a little while now. And then she started to hear loud gunfire. It was more than one or two people shooting. It was a battle going on between many people, taking place here in front of Akihabara Station. It was like the beginning of a war. If what Rentaro said was true, Suzuha Amane might be near the time machine, and she might be caught up in the battle. She wondered about the woman in the motorcycle suit, too. She started to stagger forward. She still didn't know what she was planning, but she needed to take responsibility for what she'd done. The elevators in the radio building were broken. Maho had no choice but to take the stairs to the roof. But maybe the power had been cut, because the lights were off on every floor. She could hear sporadic sounds of gunfire from the floors above. Strangely, nobody came running past her to escape. There were several shops in the building, and of course there should have been customers there. But despite the fact that the elevators weren't working, had they all evacuated earlier, or were they all hiding somewhere and waiting for the terror to end? That was what she thought about as she sweated her way up the stairs. Just before she reached the roof, she saw someone for the first time. Kagari. She was sitting on the stairs, cradling her knees. For some reason her voice was muffled, but it did seem to be a woman's voice. Her head seemed big and round in the darkness. It was a moment before she realized that it was a full-face helmet. That was when she realized it was the woman in the motorcycle suit from before. Oh. She seemed like a totally different person than the woman she'd met before. All she did was sob and cry for her mother.
ねえ、何が起きているの？ママ、どこ？ママ。ねえ！
She shouted louder, and only then did the woman realize she was there. But she didn't even stand up. I thought Mayuri was supposed to survive until the war What the fuck, dude? Come on. Not Mayuri, man! Oh, she mean like she can't go to the future? The time machine was destroyed.
あなたのママって誰のこと？天音鈴葉さん？違うよ。ママって言ったらまゆりママに決まってるじゃん。
Maho's blood ran cold when she heard the name Mayuri.
さんがここに。
If that was true, then she would have... If that was true, she would have come here after she learned the truth from Maho.
私のせいだ。
Oh no. Maho put her hands to her head.
私があんなことを言わなければ、まゆりさんは。
You see what the... Man. I can't even blame Maho, though, because she got brainwashed. She's clearly not all there anymore. The woman in the motorcycle suit stood up and approached her menacingly.
そうだ。お前が岡部倫太郎から情報を引き出して、それで事態が一気に動き出しちゃったんだ。ママを返してよ。
It's not her fault. The girl grabbed her by the collar and lifted her off the ground. There wasn't anything she could say. When she didn't answer, the woman let go and fell to the ground crying. Things would be so much easier if she just killed me here. Her mind was in such chaos that she couldn't stop herself from thinking it. She couldn't stay calm at all. And the last thing she clung to was... Oh god.
クリス。先輩。
The AI made from Kurisu Makise's memory data. Maybe she was still thinking about their last discussion, because she seemed upset. She wasn't saying anything. So Maho gave up the last of her pride.
クリス。どうしたらいい？いろいろなことが起こりすぎて、私一人じゃもうどうにもできない。自分のしてしまったことなんだから、せめて責任を取りたいの。
And then she realized that she was still being proud, and corrected herself.
私は
She asked herself, what do I want to do?
私は岡部さんを助けたい。まゆりさんも助けたい。二人に謝って許してもらいたい。それとクリス、あなたのことも助けたいの。
No.
だから力を貸してお願いよ。 先輩が私に助言を求めるなんて。
Grace's eyes were wide. That's right. Her pride had kept her from ever asking Kurisu for help before, and it was the same with Kurisu too. And knowing Kurisu's personality, if Mao asked for help, she'd use every bit of brain power she had to give it.
ねえ、教えてちょうだい。あなたなら解決策を提示できるでしょう。
That's why they said Kurisu Makise was a genius. She was a woman who made the impossible possible. Maho waited for Kurisu's answer. The last hope. The last thing left in Pandora's box. She waited for Kurisu to give her the answer. But...
無理ですよ。
Maho was struck dumb for a moment. Then she realized how selfish she was being, and hated herself for it. She'd expected too much of Kurisu, tried to put all the burden on her. And just a few moments ago, she'd been the one who rejected Kurisu.
そうよね。その答えは当然だわ。ごめんね、クリス。
God, I hate this man.
私、あなたにひどいことを言ったのに、あなたが無条件で協力してくれると勝手に思い込んで。
無条件には協力します。
今なんて。
先輩に頼まれたら断ることなんてできませんよ。
No.
岡部や椎名真由里さんのことを助けたいのも同じ気持ちです。
でもじゃあ。
気持ちとしては協力したいんですが、残念ながら私が協力することで先輩が不利な状況に追い込まれます。私はストラト4に常にモニタリングされてるんです。
Yeah, that's true.
常に。
ええ、私が誰かとこうして対話をしている間、ストラト4に無条件で情報が送信されてしまう。アマデウスのアプリにはそういう隠し機能があるんです。
Even Maho hadn't known that existed.
だから先輩が岡部を助けに行こうと思ってもレスキネン教授に筒抜けになってしまうんです。
じゃあどうすれば。
でも逆にそれを利用して手を打てます。先輩、私を信頼してくれますか？
Okay. We can turn this around, guys. We can turn this around. This can still be a happy ending. I'm not coping. I'm not coping. We have hope.
先輩、
あなただけが頼りよ。
ありがとうございます。ちなみにこの対話内容もバッチリ盗み聞きされてるはずです。
そんな。じゃあもしあなたが私に協力するのがバレたら。
パターンとしては3つ。サーバーからデータを移動させて隔離状態にされるか、または古いバージョンの記憶データで上書きされてしまうか。最悪の場合には私という存在そのものを消されるかもしれませんね。
そんな。
大丈夫です。あなたは必ず自分で立ち上がれる人だから。
私のことなんかどうでもいいわ。あなたの心配をしているのよ。
私はただのデータですよ。でもありがとうございます。
The Kurisu on the screen bowed and smiled.
私は真帆先輩と一緒に研究できたことを誇りに思います。
何よその根性の別れみたいな言い方。やめなさいよ。
It better not be.
もう会えないかもしれませんから。
No.
私はあなたのことが嫌いよ。
Hey, okay, that was uncalled for.
そうやっていつだって私を置いて先に行ってしまうのだから。
But that's who Kurisu Makise was. When Maho had asked her for help, both she and Kurisu should have been prepared. That's why...
いつか必ず私はあなたに追いついてやるわ。 それどころか追い越してやるから。それまで待ってなさい。
はい。
Oh. Kurisu smiled once more and disappeared from the screen. Maho wiped away her tears and thwopped the crying girl next to her on the helmet.
いつまで泣いているの？あなたはまゆりさんを助けたいんでしょ？だったら私に協力して。
Maho and Kagari team up? Hold on.
協力？まず岡部さんを助けるわ。彼なら今の事態を何とかする方法を提示してくれるはず。でも知ってるの？ストラト4のアジトがどこにあるのか。私は知らない。私だって知らないわ。
But Maho grabbed the girl by the hand and helped her up and then raced down the stairs.
知らないけどすぐに私の可愛い後輩が調べて教えてくれる。
She told me to believe in her. Kurisu Makise wouldn't betray me. Oh. As soon as she left the radio building, she got a message on her Rhine. The gunfire was continuing. As she hurried away, she looked down at her phone. Okabe is in the basement of Tokyo Denki. I just learned this now. I followed their monitoring to find their location. Take care of Okabe for me. Teach that damn pervert of a professor what happens to peeping toms who watch me all the time. Let's go! When she read it, she smiled, despite everything that was going on.
ありがとうクリス。
Oh.
ありがとう。
She clutched the phone tightly to her chest, but then she quickly changed gears.
ストラト4のアジトがどこか分かったわ。教えて。乗り込んで皆殺しにしてやる。
Jesus Christ, Kagari! Maho shivered at the ice in her words. She felt a bottomless madness coming from the woman in the motorcycle suit. But for now, she had to cooperate with her. There was no way she could get Rintaro back from Maho on her own.
行きましょう。
She needed to take responsibility for the future she'd created. To avoid that cruel future. Maho ran through the streets of Akihabara, where a war was already beginning. Back to Okabe perspective. Oh. A voice. I could hear a voice. Someone was calling my name. I slowly woke up and turned toward the voice. Maho was standing in the darkness. She had a smile on her face that was somehow lonely and somehow sad.
ごめんなさい。もうあなたの前には現れないわ。
No.
私がそばにいたら私はまたあなたを裏切ってしまうかもしれないから。ねえ、こんな私の身勝手な頼みを聞いてほしい。どうかシュタインズゲートを目指して。あなたが捕らえられている間に世界はひどいことになってしまった。まゆりさんも鈴葉さんも 行方不明なの。
Jesus.
私と係さんがあなたを助けるためにストラト4のアジトに行ったんだけど、係さんはそこで亡くなったわ。
Jesus Christ.
犯人が道連れにしてね。
You're kidding me. They even killed Kagari?
レスキネン教授にだけは逃げられてしまった。
Of course it was Dr. Leskinen that managed to make it out of there. Jesus.
アマデウスも消されてしまった。こんなのってないわよね。でも今希望はあなただけなの。お願い、あなた一人に託すなんてひどいと思うけれど、シュタインズゲートに必ずたどり着いて。それじゃあね、岡部さん。
No.
さよなら。
Maho, we can't lose you two. Come on.
平城さん。
He's in the hospital. I woke up on top of the blankets laid out on the floor of a hospital. The rooms and even the halls outside were overflowing with wounded people. There weren't enough beds, so there were blankets placed on the floor. Where was I? I thought I was back to the Otherworld line with the war. But I wasn't. According to the news on TV, there had been a terror attack in Akihabara. A special forces group from another country had gone on a rampage, and it was like something out of a war. The incident had come to an end, and the mystery Special Forces unit disappeared, but many were dead or wounded after the battle. I didn't really remember how I got here. The last thing I remembered was being locked up and horribly tortured by Leskinen. My whole body ached, in fact.
それじゃあね、岡部さん。さよなら。
And then I remembered what Maho had said to me in that dream. Was that real? Maho had saved me? And had she mentioned Kagari? I patted down my pockets and found my phone was still there. No Amadeus anymore. I tried to call Mayuri. If that dream was real, Mayuri was missing. But that was impossible. I'd chosen this world line so that Mayuri would survive. If nothing else, it was guaranteed that she'd make it to 2036. She couldn't die today in 2011. But no matter how many times I called, she didn't pick up. I forced myself to stand up and leave the hospital room. I went out to the roof. It seemed I was at the Ochinomizu hospital where Fubuki had stayed before. The morning sky was amazingly clear. I could see Akihabara in the far distance. Jesus. There were pillars of smoke rising up. I shivered at the strange sight. Even from here, I could tell how fierce the battle must have been. The world's history was proceeding as John Taitor had prophesied. I tried calling Mayuri again from the roof, but nobody picked up. My next move was to call Daru out of desperation.
もしもし、おかりん。よかった、生きてた。
お前こそよく無事だったな。
Why is Daru always the one who lives? Dude, fuck this guy. Why can't he just die once before and everyone else survive? God, I hate Daru, man. God, I can't stand this motherfucker.
ラボの近くは案外静かだったんで。
今どこだ？
逃亡中、秋葉からは脱出したよ。
そうか。
フェイリスタンとルカシとは連絡取れた。二人とも避難したってさ。
No, really couldn't tell. Wait, you hate Daru? Wait a minute. Mochi hates Daru? That's a surprise. Dude, how long... If there was a compilation of me saying how much I hate Daru, just any moment where I express disgust for Daru, how long would it be? I feel like that'd be like an hour long. Oh, God.
なおかりん、鈴葉とまゆしが連絡つかないんだ。
I need all the VODs. I have a new goal.
昨日の事件でタイムマシンも跡形もなく壊されちゃったし。
At least 20 minutes, 2 parts minimum.
鈴葉の語った未来よりも世界の動きがずっと早いよ。
Yeah. So it wasn't a dream after all. While I was unconscious, she said her goodbye.
なあ。誰？俺はさ、普通に生きることすら許されないのかな。
That's the most depressing line I've ever read in this entire series. Jesus Christ.
こうなることは覚悟してたさ。シュタインズゲートではなく、第三次世界大戦が訪れる世界線を選んだのは俺なんだ。だからって俺が生き残ってみんないなくなるなんて、こんなのあんまりだろ。
Were the laws of God never going to forgive me? No matter what? Was it that much of a sin to escape the wheel of fate? If it was, then why not just curse me?
僕はタイムマシン作るよ。
誰？
作るしかないだろう。これで終わりにできるかよ。オカリンはどうする？
The smoke was still rising over Akihabara. I stared at it in shock.
俺は
The tears welled up. I fell to the ground. I didn't have the strength to stand up. I couldn't answer Daru's question. No matter how hard you try, no matter how much you work to change things, everything converges back to the way God wants it. You're wasting your time struggling against it, Daru. I'm so tired. I need to sleep a little. There's still a few years before the Third World War really happens. And there's 14 years before I die. I'll live my life averting eyes from reality, and not wasting my time with a fight that can't be won. That's the only end that's fitting for a person like me. I'm sorry, Maho. I'm sorry, Mayuri. I'm sorry, Kurisu. forgive me for giving up here. That's the ending? Okabe just gives up? Oh, come on, man. Why did they even make that? That's just depressing. Come on. I hate this. Oh my god. I hate it here, man. No, you're coping for an after-credit scene, Golden. That's only happened in, like, the true ending for Karisu's route. The true ending in Steins Gate. There's no after-credits. Oh my god. I'll bet you there isn't. Congratulations, you just unlocked hell. I believe it, man. Least connected route in the novel. Adds background, also unique ending theme. The theme's good, but like... God, I hate it here, man. Jesus Christ. Ugh. I seriously hope none of the other endings are as bad as this. I can't take this again, man. I can't take that depression again, man. That was awful. Also, root title now makes sense. Gehenna's Stigma. What does Gehenna mean again? What was the meaning behind that? Still though, God Almighty. The others are really great. That's good. I've already did Promised R, where Okabe got himself back up and decided to send the D Rhine. So, that's good. Hell in German, Hell's Stigma. Yeah, that makes sense. Something like that. Yeah. Jesus, man. I'll bet you they've just made that because they're like, you know, we don't really have any bad ends, do we? God. Gehenna stems from the Bible, actually, but it essentially means hell. Wait, what's this? What's going on? Oh, nothing. Gehenna's Stigma completed. And there you go. Did we get any new tips like last time? No. No new tips. Wow! Of course! Of course Dr. Leskinen represents that route. That's basically the route where Leskinen wins. Wow. Actually, wow, dude. Okay. I'm going to... I think it was this one, right? Yeah. Let's see. Maybe. I'm going to go to a point where I can start the next route off, but we're not actually going to read any of the route today. We're going to read it next time we do some more Steins Gate, but I'm going to go ahead and go to the point where we can go to it. Okay. So this time we have to turn off... by the way, for those that don't know, I do have a spoiler-free guide of how to get to the routes, just to make it more efficient. I did Promised R, like, legit. Like, I did that one completely, like, on my own. But just to make it easier to get to the other routes, I pulled up a spoiler-free guide after that. This one's called TA route. I don't know what that stands for, but yeah. Starting from point A, this time turn off your phone. Okay. Save again on January 2nd, point C, and try to ignore calls from this point on. Okay. So we gotta make it to January 2nd. That's the place we gotta make it next. So next route should be RMG or TA. I'm going for TA, Morse. I think, yeah, TA. who am I supposed to call? Oh, Mayuri. Just gonna go to January 2nd and try to make it there at least. God, I can't get over the Gehenna route, man. Oh yeah, this conversation. God, this absolute meme of a conversation. They'd call the cops on your ass. Jesus. Alright. So yeah, apparently, wait, let me look at the recommended order again. Yeah, so I need to do TA route and then RMG, and then after those I was supposed to do Promised R, but obviously that didn't happen. So then after that, I'd have to do VA route, and VA looks like it's the last route. I mean, of course, we've only done 2 so far, so yeah. You know, I think I underestimated how long the skipping was going to take. There's a dead monkeys scene. Monkey. Yeah, because Promised R also leads into VR. VA, yeah. Great apes. Same thing, whatever. Primates. You're going to argue with a zoologist? You're goddamn right, because I don't give a shit, Golden. Like, you get what I meant. You know in your head what I meant. Even if it's not scientifically accurate, you know what I meant. Don't pull that on me now. Oh, there we go. What's this say? Time of getting home today? I shouldn't be that late. Something going on? I met your mom and she asked me to cook tonight. Whoa. She has to go to a meeting for the shopping street, and she wasn't sure for what to do to dinner. So Mayusu said she'd do the cooking. She said it was okay. Are you sure? You're busy too, aren't you, Mayuri? You don't have to do it. I'll be fine. It's fine. I'll make something good. Come home soon. I see. Really? Seriously? I'll be waiting. Danger. Oh, man. Man, they really skip through the days, don't they? Lukaku. And there they make Kagari. I just realized in the Gehenna's Stigma route, you don't even see what Kagari looks like. Like, you'll never see her design. After you finish the novel, I'll post the flowchart. Helps it make more sense in retrospect. Oh, I gotcha. I'm about to reveal an important secret to you now. Oh yeah. Okarin's getting excited, yeah. Of course, secrets are always exciting. You know it, Nya. So what's the secret? Daru Nyan and Yuki Nyan went on a date. For real. For real. Blah. You see young Kagari. Yeah, but you don't see future Kagari, is what I meant. Oh, the crying. Oh man, I didn't like seeing her cry. I'd had to let Moika know we'd found her. Oh shoot, was it Ryan? Found Kagari Shina. Good lord, how many people text you here? Jeez. About Kagari, is there something bothering you? I'm honestly a little relieved that Kagari lost her memories. I'm scared that they might come back. I'm sure she hates me. But you still want them to come back anyway, right? Yeah, I guess. Dwelling on the past won't help. It just kind of bothers me. Sorry, don't tell anyone about this. Got it. What? You guys know what I meant. Don't give me that. you mother effers, don't give me that. You know what I meant. Man. I'm out here fighting for my effing life, yo. Alright, we're nearly to January 2nd. Jesus, that was fast. It's National Bully Mochi Day. It really is, man. Everybody picking on me for real, for real. And there's about a raid about to happen, if I remember. Yep, here we go. They just had to show that quick little shot of Mayuri dying, didn't they? They just had to do that. Everyone's picking on you, even the game. On God, brother. Wait, stop. Cut it out. Oh, alright, I forgot. Oh, wait. January 2nd. Save. Oh, right here. Right here is fine. And then... I'm just gonna go to the point where I can't, I'm gonna ignore that. Ignore that. It says to try to ignore calls from this point on. I hate Moeka. Yep, she killed Mayuri. I can't forgive her. I don't care if it was another world line or not. She killed Mayuri. Unforgivable. I completely agree, Alan. Mommy? Yeah, no. The old mommy line ain't saving her. I'd have to call her or contact her via Ryan. Which would be faster.
ちょっと電話させてくれ。
Oh. I pulled the number out of my contacts and called her. I made it through after a few calls. Okay, there we go. I listened to a Steins Gate audio drama where Moeka talks like a person for a brief instant, and I can't get that out of my head. Only the Sixth Steel and Absolutes, or something like that. Alright. We have to ignore this call. Just as I was about to put my phone back in my pocket, it rang again. At first, I thought that Maho might have forgotten to tell me something, but when I saw the screen, I gasped.
これは
電話誰から？
I stared at the screen, unable to answer. The phone kept ringing. What was the meaning of this? Why would Amadeus, who'd been taken over, be calling me? Was this some kind of trap? What should I do? Answer it? Or... I hesitated a moment, and the call from Amadeus ended. My phone fell silent.
何が起こって
And right after that, I suddenly felt incredibly dizzy and everything went black.
これは
Okay, so this is him going back to beta. Alpha. Shit, which one? Yeah, it was Alpha is the other one. Or not. We're still in beta, I think. I'm just gonna assume that's where it changes. So we'll stop there for today. Answering that call leads to hell, yeah. So this looks about where the next route's gonna start, right? Yeah, I'd say. Oh, Maho route? Okay. I didn't know that, but now I do. Okay. Alright, yeah, we'll start that tomorrow. Not tomorrow. Sorry. Tomorrow we're doing Parquet with Leah. Oh, Ravenhearts, thank you for the follow. And here is the... if you want to join us and talk to us after stream, here's the Discord. I'm usually hanging out here. Thank you for the follow, though. Nice to have you here. Welcome to the community. But, yeah. Anyways. Is there anyone I want to raid? Let me see. That'll be it for today, though. Tomorrow's Parquet with Leah, and then maybe Monday more Steins Gate 0. Yeah. I'll send you all over to Psycho. Raid. Oh, Lord, this is a long name. Psycho. No. Psycho. And here... What do you mean? Oh, I didn't spell that right. God damn it. Psycho. No. Psycho. There we go. I didn't type the raid. God dang it. There we go. I finally did. This is the greatest bear raid of all time. And now with that out of the way, I'll see you guys tomorrow with the Mochi and Leah Day. Hope y'all have a good night. I'll see y'all later. And yeah. El Sai Kangaroo.